is that Simone Biles being an African American means that her descendants are the descendants of slaves, and therefore she is an Israelite. We must also come to the realization that the Olympics is an activity that was organized by the Edomites to celebrate the Edomic accomplishments in sports. It was not meant for black people. There is two stories that I want to tell you, two personal stories of my life that I want to tell you, and I hope I will be able to tie them in. My father, as a young man, went to Aruba and he worked there, and when he returned to St. Vincent, he started a business. Like most of the people who went to Aruba in that time, they understood that the monies that they made in Aruba will not last forever. So what they do, they start business. They can invest their money in themselves and make a profit, and they will be able to survive with their families. So when my father returned from Aruba, he started a business, as most people did at that time. When I was a child, the business was going good. His business was going very good. My mother knew he was in the lodge and she was trying to get him out of the Odd Fellows for quite a long time. He never take her on. So my mother used me to get him to come out of the Odd Fellows and stop with his foolishness as it relates to the Odd Fellows. So one day she told me that the Odd Fellows deals with the devil. Go and ask your father, he will not lie to you. So I went down and said, Daddy, is it true that the Odd Fellows deal with the devil? He says, let me tell you, the Odd Fellows is a brotherhood. We are all brotherhoods who look out for each other, right? And I will tell you this, you are my son, and I love you. I will never encourage you to get involved with anything that isn't good for you, that does not have your holistic well-being at heart. Before my mother died, make my father promise her he will not get me involved in Odd Fellows or any of the hocus pocus thing that's surrounding the Odd Fellows. As I tell you before, my father had a shop. It was a thriving business. It was going good even when I was a child. But in the back of my father's shop, he had an altar that was set up there. And I would sneak into the back of the shop. It was a room that was closed off from anyone, but I would sneak into the back and see what is happening there. And I would look at this altar and try to wonder what it is. I think it was my mother who brought it to my attention. So when my mother was dying from cancer, I was about 7 years old. She made my father promise her that not ensure that I didn't get involved in the Odd Fellows or the hocus pocus stuff that surrounded the Odd Fellows. So one day my father saw me sneaking into his room where he had his little altar. He called me, pick me up. Don't go into that place. Stay out of there. It has nothing to do with you. Lift me up. So I went upstairs and I didn't take it. Another day I sneak in again. And he saw me and he said, he roughed me up again. I tell you not to go into that place. Stay out of there. Stay out of there. However, my curiosity always pulled me into that room. I will go into that room. And he get fed up telling me not to go in because I'm going in it anyway. He get fed up telling me not to go into his room where he had his little altar set up. So I would go in there and I look and see what he have and try to figure out what is happening here. And then one day I went into the altar and I noticed a part of the altar have gone. So I went and I said, Daddy, you're breaking down the altar? And he said, yes. I said, why? He didn't answer. But what I noticed, he will dismantle it piece by piece. He didn't just take the whole thing and throw it out. He will dismantle this altar that he had in the back of his shop, piece by piece. And every time he remove a piece of the altar, his business start going down. His business, from a thriving business, it start going down. And every time he removed a piece of the altar, his business turned down. And when he eventually removed it and get rid of the entire altar from the back of his shop, his business went down to nothing. He could hardly pay his bills, right? Fast forward, I am in New York City. I found a website where I can purchase high quality jewelry for little or no money. So I decided, I start buying this jewelry for little or no money. 12 karat, 14 karat gold wedding ring that would cost you $1,500 in the store. I could pick it up on that website for $50. So I start buying up these things and I start selling them online. The online business wasn't going too well. So I decided, let me go out on Flatbush and start selling these things on Flatbush. But those kind of things will not appeal to the appetite of the regular shoppers on the Flatbush. So what I did, I went into Manhattan and I buy myself some costume earrings, feather earrings and all these earrings. So I set up these earrings and I know people quickly buy $1 earring, and that will get their attention to the expensive jewelry. So I was there selling. People come and ask me, hey, how was business? I say, business is good, because business was good. My first week or so out there, business was good. People come and they will buy and they will send their friends and they will buy. People ask, how was business? I say, business is good. And then a Trinidadian guy came and he set up right next to me. He was doing some bead chokers. You know those chokers that we made as children? And he was doing these bead chokers. And I said to myself, he cannot be serious. These are things we were doing as children. He is coming out here every day to make these bead chokers and offer them for sale. Who is going to buy these? And the amount of customer he had, you know that he cannot, and he will not make a living from selling these bead choker and these bead bundle that we made as children, right? But as soon as he come there and set up shop, all of the people who were coming to buy stuff from me for the past 2 weeks stopped coming. My sales went down. So I tried to figure out, how is it possible that these popular earrings and so forth, they were so inexpensive? No one have any interest in them. They're not even looking at the earrings anymore. How is it possible? I didn't know, but I will still shop there and try to sell. And then I get fed up. I say, you know what, they're not interesting in the product. So I pack up and I stop going out. I stopped going out. The guy stopped coming out. Later, I go out there with some handbags and I start selling handbags, and people start coming and they're buying up the handbags. Come on, how's business? I said, boy, business is good. I didn't know it would have been so good, and so forth. The same Trinidadian guy came back there, set up shop doing the same thing again. My friend, by this time, I became acquainted with a Grenadian guy by the name of Dick. Me and Dick became very good friends, because when Dick was fixing his van, I'll go and help him fix his van. And when I'm working on my van, he'll come and help me work on my van. So Dick came around. Dick came around, people. I'm going somewhere with this. And when I tell Dick, boy, Dick, all of a sudden, things ain't going good. He said, well, they do expect it to go good. He said, Palmer, every store on Flatbush, no matter how big they are, no matter how small they are, all of them have protection. I said, Dick, what you're speaking about? He said, if you go into the Chinese store, you'll see the Chinese have a little altar at the back of their shop. You can look over the counter and see it. I said, yeah, I remember seeing it. He said, what I think that is? That is protection. He said, go into Rite Aid. or the stores, the other stores, all of them have protection. They have a talisman in their store that warn off evil spirit. He said, if you want protection, go to the botanic shop and tell the attendant there that you're running a little business and you come to for protection, and they will give you something that will protect your business from demonic forces that come around. The Trinidadian guy was who brought the demonic forces. They sent him because I was doing good business, and I wasn't following the rules of operating in the business environment in Esau's land. I said, no, Dick, I prefer my business to go down than to get involved in these things, because I've seen my father. It's happened to my father. A Jamaican lady came to me. She said she come to buy handbags from me. She had the money here, but she can't buy the handbags. I said, well, me, I can't buy the handbags. The handbags, they buy them. She said, no, I'll come back tomorrow. She said, partner, when you come out to sell tomorrow, walk with water and wash away the place before you set up. Wash away the place and then set up. I'll come back and buy from you tomorrow. I said to myself, this woman with her superstitious thing, blah 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 blah, oh, we are thinking, I don't believe in them thing, me. And then the Holy Spirit whispered to me in the book of Samuel, remember the witch of Endor? This is real. So I said, I'm not going to wash away, I'm going to sweep away. I went to the bodega, I got my broom, and as soon as I put the first stroke on the broom, a new brand broom, the broom break in two. I run back to the bodega, get another broom, I sweep away. When I sweep away, all the customer came back immediately. People, I'm telling you this to tell you, all that glitters is not gold. Sometimes we think when we go and we do a bachelor's or a master's or a doctorate in business administration, it teaches how to conduct business. All it teaches is how not to get in trouble with the law and with the taxes. That's all it does. The operation of a business and the successful operation of a business has to do with how deep you are willing to go into witchcraft, because the devil have come down and he is wrath with the inhabitants of the world. Where are you going with this, Alan? People, we are Israelites. We are Israelites. Deuteronomy chapter 28, between 15 and 68, show us who the Israelites are, the children of the transatlantic slave trade. Deuteronomy chapter 28, 68 says, the enemies of the Israelites are those who bought us as bondmen and bondwomen when we were offered for sale. The Edomites. Who are the Edomites, you may ask? The Edomites are the Caucasians. Encyclopedia Britannica, under the heading Jerusalem, subheading Romans rules, it says that King Herod was an Edomite. King Herod is a Caucasian. Remember, the father of the Edomites is Esau. When Esau was born, Isaac saw it fit to describe Esau. He was red all over and hairy like a cloak. The description of a Caucasian. Remember, the Most High, all through the scriptures, declare his love for the Israelites. He says that the Israelites are the apple of his eyes, and anyone who touches the Israelite touches the apple of his eyes. He says that the Israelites have gone out whoring. They don't deserve his love. But if you come back to me, I will accept you. I will be your God and you will be my people. He said, I will never turn my back upon the Israelites. In Malachi chapter 1 verse 2 to 4, he says, I hate Esau and I love Jacob. He said, the Edomites are a border of wickedness and I will hate the Edomites forever. So here we have a situation where the Most High says that he will hate the Edomites and he loved the Israelites. All through the scriptures, he declared his love for the Israelites. One time, the only time in scriptures, the Most High said he hate anyone or anything was in Malachi chapter 1 verse 2 to 4, where he declared that he hate Esau and he hate the Edomites and he will hate them forever. People are going somewhere with this thing. The Olympic Games, sports and entertainment is controlled by the Edomites, the same people who the Most High say he hates. We know from all scriptures the Edomites hates the Israelites with a passion that the Israelites will never be able to understand. The Edomites will never give anything to the Israelites for free because the Edomites don't love the Israelites. They hate us with a passion that we will never be able to understand. That is why in baseball it was restricted to whites only. Every sport that the Edomites created was restricted to whites only because they hated us. They didn't want us participating or being a part of anything they were doing. All of these rappers, all of these Israelite rappers, these black rappers and black entertainers and black sports stars, do you think that the Edomite will pay them $1 million to play sports? No. Anytime you reach where the Edomites have chosen to give you millions of dollars, it's because they want you to be a hireling, one who is able to lead the children of the Most High astray. And in order for you to lead the children of the Most High astray, you have to be committed to them and them only. You think Michael Jordan became such a mighty athlete just because he has skills? No, people.